Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. As you can see here, I have my coloring book, Just Add Sparkles, a coloring book where everything shines, and today I'm going to be doing 2 more coloring pages. There are so many to choose from, but I'm definitely feeling a relaxing vibe. I feel like coloring is really good at helping you relax and calm your mind a little bit, so I'm really excited to pick out some pages that will do that. There are so many coloring pages to choose from, and I can't wait to keep filling this out. You can color along too on Amazon.com. Shop Just Add Sparkles, and let's get to coloring. If you have your coloring book, go ahead and grab it, and I'm going to be starting off with this page of this girl in a relaxing bubble bath. Like I said, I really want this kind of theme to be a relaxing color with me, so I'm choosing the ones in here that just seem like it's a treat yourself moment, so that's what I'm going with. For this one, I'm starting with the bases first. Since I use alcohol markers, the first layer will dry, and then if I go over it again, it will be darker, so I use this to my advantage to just create some shadows underneath before I go in and cover everything up, and then I'm adding in just even more shading and a little bit of blush to make her have a little bit more color and life to her. And then it was time to do the hair, which hair is one of my favorite things to color, so this was definitely relaxing. I decided to go with brown hair mainly for the reason that blonde hair is just pretty hard to get right and it takes a little more intention, so I decided to just go ahead and make kind of a reddish brown hair color. And then after that, it was finally time to start working on all of the details and elements of the tub. I started off with this bath pillow behind her, and I wanted to do a bright, fun color, so I chose this kind of turquoise green blue, and that was really cool. And then it was time to color in the water, which was actually a little bit challenging, only because my markers are running out of ink, especially my blues. Blue is my favorite color, as you know, so a lot of them are already out of ink, so I tried my best with what I had and just took it nice and slow so that some ink could come out of the marker. And then after that, I moved on for a little while to do something else. I decided to use a lot of bright and fun colors all over this tub. For the loofah, I went with this really bright pink, and then I added that over to these little shampoo and conditioner bottles on the side. I wanted to kind of keep a similar color scheme, but I really wanted to make it really fun and bright and also mix things up just a little bit. So I used the same colors for these bottles, but I kind of just swapped them around a tiny bit to make them a little bit more interesting. And then after that, I went back to working on the water. I had to pick my markers carefully because, like I said, I'm out of a lot of blues, so I chose these 2 blues to kind of fill in these little streams of a different kind of water vibe. It just adds in a little bit of dimension. And then after that, it was time to color in this little bath tray. I decided to add in some wood grain textures to it for a little bit of fun, and then when I was letting those dry, I just tried to add in some shading with a purple marker. I don't always love to use gray because that can kind of muddy it down a little bit, so I used this light purple to add in some shading. Initially, I wanted to make this whole entire tub look like an old-fashioned pink bathroom, but I decided against that, and I decided to instead incorporate some of the colors that I've already been using into the background. So I made the tiles look kind of holographic and reflective by using purple, blue, pink, and some yellow, and then I also added that into the bubbles as well to try and make them look like they were shiny. And I also did that to the bubbles in the water just for them to translate a little bit more like they were foamy and bubbly and kind of sparkly and reflective. And then it was time for the most important part, the rubber duck. And then I just finished coloring in that wood grain. Here you could see that because I put it down first and it dried, you can still see through it and you can still see the wood grain a little bit, which is really cool. And then for the candles, I just went with kind of a muted yellow color because I didn't want it to take away from everything else. And now it's time for my loved white gel pen to add in those highlights. So I went ahead in everywhere, basically like I always do, and added in a lot of sparkles and a lot of highlights everywhere, especially to the water since it's supposed to look really bubbly and full of some soap. Then I went ahead and added that in, and here is how this first page turned out. It looks so cool, and I'll show it again at the end, but for now let's move on to the next relaxing drawing, which I'm going to do this one. It's a girl in a face mask getting hydrated, so I felt like this would be be another great one to have a peaceful treat yourself moment with. So I went ahead and started with the skin, and I decided to do a nice warm olive skin tone for this one. So again, I'm starting with my shadows and everywhere that needs shading, and then I'm going to let that dry and then go over it with a solid layer to really make sure everything stands out the way that I want it to. So here I am just going in and coloring in all of the skin pieces. I did forget to do the nose and around the lips, but don't worry, I go back for it later. When I drew this one out, I wanted it to look like the mask was there and kind of faded away from like the nose and the lips, because that's how you would like apply a face mask. So I'll have to go back and make sure I do those later, but for now I just colored everything else in, and here I am going back for the nose and around the lips to correct it, and it's looking really good so far. Kind of scary because it's a mask on a person, and that's just kind of freaky sometimes, but it does look pretty good so far. So now I'm going in and coloring in the eyes. I wanted to make them a really pretty brown color, and then after that it was time to start working on the hair, and for this hair color I wanted to do a really deep rich brown to complement her skin tone well. So I went ahead in and added in all of my streaks of my darker color first, and then after that, after I put it everywhere that I wanted it, I went in with the lighter color. Initially I was going to do 3 different colors and kind of add in an even warmer reddish brown, but I feel like that would match the skin tone too much, so I really wanted to keep the hair pretty dark. And then after that, of course, I had to color in the eyebrows to match the hair. We can't forget about those. And now it's time for the part that I have been kind of dreading, which is the face mask. I used my Ohuhu marker swatches to pick my green colors, and I was hoping this would be a muted green, but as you can tell, it's not. That's the green that it was supposed to be, kind of this light green, and that's the green that I got. It's a little bit of a witch green skin tone. It's really not a peaceful face mask skin tone, but for now I'm ignoring it and moving on to other parts of this. I wanted to make the top that she's wearing look kind of silky, so I decided to add in a lot of shading for now of some pink colors, and then I wanted to make the straps an extra dark pink just to complement everything else. I thought it might make the green stand out even more, which obviously I did not want. It didn't need that, but I still decided to do a pink for this top because I felt like it would be really cute and match the aesthetic of the drawing. So for now I'm just trying to go back and fix the face. I decided I would use some pink over the green because pink will cancel out some of that color, and it did cancel it out. It also made it darker, but I do think it's a big improvement from that Christmas color green. And now I'm going ahead and adding in some finishing touches. I decided to use some gold to add into the eyes to make them pop, and now it's time for the white gel pen as well, and you know me, I just put this all over the place. I personally feel like white gel pen highlights make every single drawing and piece of art that I do like 50 times better, so I kind of always go a little bit overboard, but I do feel like it helped this one look better. And here is how this one turned out. It is super cool. I love that I added gold to her eyes. It really makes them pop, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I still think I would choose a different green for her face, but the markers kind of betrayed me on that one. But anyway, here is how this one turned out, and here is the first one again as well. They are both super relaxing vibes, and I love them. Here they are side by side. They're very different, but let me know which one you liked better today and which one turned out to be your favorite. Thanks so much for coloring along with me in my coloring book, Just Add Sparkles. Again, if you want to color it too, you can shop this on Amazon.com. Look up Just Add Sparkles by Anchored Art Designs. There are so many beautiful and fun coloring pages to choose from. I've loved to do them and experiment with my art a little bit through it. But again, thank you guys so much for coloring with me today. Hopefully you took this as your moment to relax and treat yourself a little bit. Remember that rest is really important, and it's okay to take some time for you today. Thanks for watching. A like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!